On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be moving ahead to our next session, wherein we talk about, as per our agenda, we are moving ahead to session 3 right now, which is ESG in action, using data and AI to drive sustainability goals. Apologies from the speaker side. He was coming all the way from Pune, and of course, we know how the traffic can turn out to be. So there was a issue at the Ghats, so we're elated that he's here, and he's here to present on behalf of Credible. So ladies and gentlemen, our speaker on the other side is a tech enthusiast and entrepreneur, somebody who's passionate using data and software to drive positive change for the planet and society. He co-founded Credible ESG, aiming to improve environmental stewardship using AI-powered sustainability platforms. As the CTO, Parth has led efforts to enable corporation to achieve net zero carbon goals with data-driven solutions. Additionally, of course, he's also the co-founder and CEO of InfiniChains, supporting the blockchain-based supply chain traceability and recycling. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a big, big round of applause as we welcome him, the co-founder of Credible, Partha Patil.
I think this is okay. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I am Parth. Good morning. I am Parth Patil, co-founder and CTO at Credible. So I would love to talk to you about how we are using AI in our platform to help our customers optimize their ESG operations. So I'll just wait for the presentation to come up, but in the meantime, I can give a very quick introduction about Credible. So we are a ESG platform powered by AI, and we are helping customers in India, Europe, US, across the world to optimize their ESG operations, which includes collecting the data for their sustainability operations, analyzing the data to make sure it is correct and it is auditable, and finally publishing reports like GRI, CDP, BRSR, etc. We have more than 150 customers today around the world. We have large customers, public companies in India like Reliance, Jio, Airtel, Zomato, JK Tires, and many more. So we are the only company from Asia in the ESG space who has been recognized by Verdantix, where Verdantix is one of the most recognized research group in the sustainability space. So they have recognized us as the only AI native company to operate in the ESG vertical. So and also a little bit about myself. So I have 20 plus years of AI and technology leadership experience. Most of this time I spent in San Francisco Bay Area working at companies like Yahoo, StumbleUpon, Badgeville, and various other startups there. So I spent a lot of time building scalable systems, applying AI to solve hard problems. And then a few years back, moved back to India and started Credible to help people in the sustainability space. Has the presentation come? Sorry, I just got here late because of an accident on Mumbai-Pune highway, and I just sent my presentation.
You didn't want to mention that because it's quite traumatic, but
Yeah. So basically what I want to do today is show a few use cases of how we are using Gen AI in the real world to basically streamline the ESG operations. So these use cases revolve around extraction of data, validation of data in various use cases, which was previously very manual. So this is saving hundreds of hours for our customers who previously were doing these workflows predominantly in a manual fashion. Um,
Internationally, ESG is being used by the corporates, various people,
right.
and how your company has been very great supporter. And
Correct.
you got, other than India, you got quite a lot of support internationally.
Correct, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
give a big little account of that.
Absolutely. So we have partnered with Deloitte globally to basically offer our solutions across the world. We recently became a Deloitte Alliance partner, which is a sort of a difficult thing to do. And we co-created a product for the Australian market. There is a new sustainability regulation that came up in Australia, for which we are an exclusive partner with Deloitte to help companies meet this regulation. So it's a regulation based on climate change, where companies need to measure and report the impact of climate change on their business to keep investors informed. So that's a product we created there. Then we have a lot of new customers that we are getting in Spain and other areas. Thank you so
Very
much.
good.
Thank you.
Presentation has come now.
Yes, finally it's here. Sorry about that. Thanks for your patience, everyone. So I'll just very quickly walk through this in next 15 minutes. What are the use cases where we are using AI? So as I told you, we have 150 plus customers in India, Europe, and across the world. We are the only company recognized by Verdantix in the Innovators Quadrant, which is an AI native company. So that's also an achievement we are proud of. So now let's look at the use cases where AI is proving to be really helpful. So first, what I would highlight is the data extraction from electricity bills and different kinds of purchase receipts. So this was an exercise our customers used to do completely manually, where somebody in their team used to look at the bills and extract the consumption data, like how much electricity they have consumed, how much diesel they have consumed, and then enter it in an Excel sheet, and then further there were calculations done on this. So this was before they adopted our platform. But in our platform, we have implemented an AI native workflow where customers can come and just upload bills, could be in any language. It doesn't need to follow any specific format. But the AI is smart enough to extract the right information from these bills and then do their emission calculation, right? So customers can know what their carbon footprint is just based on uploading these bills. So you guys must have seen OCR before, and some of you might think, hey, this is the old technology. We have seen OCR for the last 10, 20 years. But this technology based on Gen AI, right, the new class of technology, this is very different from OCR. This is much, much smarter. It is more robust and more resilient to changes in the format of the bill, right? So if the format changes a little bit, some of you might know that OCR will completely break down, right? If the bill changes slightly where the information appears, OCR does not work, right? And it's very difficult to maintain OCR-based systems. But the generative AI-based systems, these are very, very resilient, right? They can understand the layout of the bill, where information appears, and if we ask it, okay, I want this information, they can smartly extract that information, even if the bill changes over time, right? So this is a very powerful way to extract information. It is working at scale today across tens of thousands of bills that we are processing every single month. Another use case I would highlight is the AI-based checking of audit rules across documents. So again, this is a very common practice in the ESG space, where people collect data, collect evidences about their data, and they manually check if all this data and evidence is correct, so that they can be assurance ready at the end of the year. So all this was being done manually before our platform was adopted. What we have done in our platform is we let our customers specify rules. So for example, here you see there is a purchase receipt, and we are saying, we are telling the AI, for any purchase receipt that is uploaded, check these 3 rules and make sure these 3 rules are correct, they are holding true, right? So here we are saying check that the supplier is reliable fuel. It's a specific supplier. We want to make sure that the procurement is happening only from this supplier. We are saying, we are asking the AI to check that this bill is only for diesel and not for any other resource, right? And finally, it belongs to a specific month and year. So these are the same audit rules that an auditor would check at the end of the year. So we help our customers set up these rules once, and every single bill that flows into the system, our AI automatically keeps checking these rules and flagging any issues. So once this rule is set up, now as the bills flow into the system, our AI can flag an issue. So if you see here, every row represents a resource that this company is actually consuming month over month, and anywhere there is an issue, it is highlighted in yellow, right? That there is an issue in the data for a given month. Now when I click on that, I can actually see what the problem is. So the AI tells me that there are 3 rules that were set up. Out of the 3 rules that were set up, there is 1 rule that is passing, but 2 rules are failing for this purchase receipt, right? So if you see, again, if you see what the rules that are failing, one, it is saying that this is not a bill that is for diesel. The second rule that is failing says that the supplier is not a reliable fuel. It is some other supplier, which is something we don't want. So if I go and inspect the bill, I have highlighted in yellow the places that are problematic. So if you see the first, the supplier is not the supplier we expect. It is some other supplier. So the AI caught this problem. Secondly, this is the bill actually for LPG. It is not for diesel, right? So imagine having to do this manually across thousands and thousands of bills. This is literally, still several companies are doing this today manually. And at the end of the year, when they undergo audit, a lot of times, they are not confident that their data is correct, their evidences are correct, right? And a lot of issues are uncovered at the end, which wastes a lot of time in audits. So we are fixing this problem at scale. Another use case that I would highlight is how we validate documents provided by suppliers. So as some of you might know, in the ESG space, what is now happening is companies have gotten a good handle of their own sustainability and their own footprint, right? And now they are going beyond their own operations, and they're checking the sustainability of their suppliers, right? So we have built a very sophisticated modules where companies can request data and certificates from their suppliers and can check if their suppliers are also following certain ESG practices, right? So what this entails is asking your supplier for certain certificates, making sure that they are following certain practices. But again, you run into the same problem where you have thousands of suppliers. Now, how do you check that the certificates they have given are indeed correct, right? Indeed, they are following certain checks, right? So again, that is something now we have automated, where we can say, for example, what you see here, our customer is asking their supplier to provide a data security certificate. So ISO 27001 is a common data security certificate, and our customer wants to know that every supplier is compliant with this. So previously, all you could do is just make sure that somebody has provided an attachment of a certificate, right? But how do you check that that certificate is indeed correct? Like, how do you go and read all the clauses in the certificate and make sure it is correct? So it was very tedious. So we have automated this, where now what you see here on the left is the ISO certificate, and what you see on the right is all the checks that has been done against the contents of the certificate, right? So things like, is the certificate still valid? It's not expired? Is this certificate issued by an acceptable body, right? Does this certificate have a certain language of what is covered, right? So these kind of detailed checks now we can do in a fully automated way with our AI, right? Like again, now this is something that saves hundreds of hours of the sustainability teams in large companies. Then another use case that we are solving with AI is filling of sustainability reports, right? So as you know, there are so many different sustainability frameworks and reports that a company has to fill. So for example, in India, there is BRSR, that is the most popular sustainability framework that public companies have to fill every year. Then there are international frameworks like GRI, there is CDP, there is ESRS, and this goes on and on, right? So what happens is there is a lot of burden on companies to fill these reports. So we again took a fresh approach to this. How can we help companies? So what we identified is lot of companies already have the information that is needed to fill these reports, but that information is in a very unstructured format. So for example, if you look at this example, this is a section about the board mandate around climate change and sustainability. So a lot of companies will have a board mandate document, right? Like, what does their board do? Does the board have responsibility towards climate, right? So what we said was, okay, companies already have this information. Can we just ask them to upload what they have today? And we will extract the relevant information from their documents and fill these disclosures, these climate related disclosures, right? So that's what we are doing here. Based on what data they have, the data the companies have, they can upload it. It could be a presentation, it could be a PPT, it could be Excel sheets. From that, we will extract whatever is relevant and will start filling out their disclosure. So here, once they upload, for example, the board mandate, the AI shows that, hey, this is the information I found from your document. Please review if the way I have worded that information to be put in the disclosure is correct. If it's acceptable, then the user can just say, okay, go ahead, and the disclosure is filled, right? So that is one very nice use case that is saving a lot of time for our customers. Then another is we have created a co-pilot for ESG managers to ask about their sustainability posture in plain English, right? So for example, I'm an ESG manager. Instead of me going and clicking around and finding what are the top facilities or factories in my company that are causing the most emissions, I can just ask in plain English, hey, just tell me what are the ones, what are the factories that are causing most emissions in the last year, right? This is just an example, but pretty much whatever data you can go and check by clicking around, you can now simply ask our ESG co-pilot, which we call EVA. You can just ask EVA, how am I doing on various different KPIs. Then we also provide ESG benchmarking for our customers, so they know how they are doing in their industry against their peers, right? So if it's a pharma company, typically a pharma company wants to know, how am I doing on ESG KPIs compared to other companies in my geography, right? So what we do is we go and aggregate all the publicly available information about various companies in different sectors, and then we use AI to provide tailored advice to our customers, right? So what you see on the right is tailored advice that our AI gives to companies, where it says, hey, these are the areas where you are doing well compared to your peers, but then in red, there are areas where you need to improve your performance. You are lagging behind, right? So this is another a very popular feature with our customers. Then another module that we have built to help our customers is to do their own audit before they go for a third-party audit, right? So this is again a very common issue with companies, that they want to make sure that they are audit ready before they call an external auditor. And also, when an external auditor comes on site and starts checking their data, they need help in pulling the right data when the auditor asks for it, right? So these are something that consume a lot of time. So we have built an AI assistant that initially, that first and foremost, helps a company to launch an internal audit to check their own audit readiness. Second, when an auditor comes on site and says, hey, give me this document for this data point, give me the evidence for this, right? I'm not satisfied. Give me a certificate to substantiate your claim, right? So the ESG manager can directly come to EVA and say, hey, I need this document, I need this thing, so I can show it to the auditor. Did I press something here? Okay. Yeah. So then another use case is mapping of a company's activities to the right emission factor. So again, the thing with carbon accounting or measuring the carbon footprint of a company is to take an inventory of all the activities that the company does And for each of that activity from a global emission database, we have to find what is the closest emission factor we can use for that activity. So what you're seeing here is an example of quantifying the purchases of a company. So company could be buying various different things like office supplies, different kinds of raw materials. So you have to map their purchase to the closest relevant emission factor so you can calculate their carbon footprint. So this process is very manual and tedious. So we created an AI helper that can automatically look at this kind of raw data and automatically pick the right emission factor out of like thousands and thousands of emission factor. So there are like two popular databases in the world, Axiobase and EcoInvent. Now we are automatically able to pick the right emission factors from these databases using AI. Then another use case I would like to highlight is in the supply chain due diligence. So we also have a supply chain due diligence product where we show the traceability in a supply chain, and we give manufacturers visibility into what's happening in supply chain. So one of the things that they need to do is to make sure their suppliers, not just tier 1, but even tier 2, tier 3 suppliers are compliant with certain regulations, right? So here I'm highlighting a use case where the raw material that somebody is procuring, that raw material has to comply with deforestation regulation. So what a manufacturer can do in our platform is set up an FSC certificate requirement. FSC is the certificate to prove that this material is compliant with deforestation. Once they set up the rules and tell the AI what to check, then the AI can highlight in their supply chain. So I'm showing a part of the supply chain traceability towards the raw material side. So here I've highlighted in red the nodes and the suppliers where our AI has highlighted there is a problem. When you click on that, it will tell you exactly what is the problem. So here it is saying the FSC certificate that was attached is incorrect, and this is the certificate actually. So if you see in red I've highlighted, the certificate is there, but then actually it is no longer active. It's a terminated certificate. So the AI is able to go and check these kind of minute details, right, which a human team can very easily miss. So yeah, that was the last kind of use case. There are many more, but I just wanted to keep it short and kind of fit it in 20 minutes. Thank you.
Partha, one question to audience. How many of you understand ESG here? Please raise the hands. बहुत फुल से उठाते नहीं है, environment, social and governance. So that becomes a buzzword. All of you will be joining corporate. There no, you have to contract credible. If they have to capture proper data, and these data where we have to send here, SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India, this data is going, and this data is now covered for all companies above, I think, 1,000 crores.
The top, yeah.
And
Top
later
1,000.
it will come to supply chain. That is all the MSME. He mentioned, no, at the even second or third tier also they should be in compliant.
Correct.
So give a big hand to Mr. Partha Patil. And I used to be advisor also to this company, so that's why I learned some AI also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah.
If you have any questions regarding what we do, please come and talk to me. We'll be happy to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, come.
So just as a token of
I request
appreciation,
Shanmuga Velu, come. Here you are seeing NCS soft solution. He also picked up some audio gadget and all. उन्होंने आपसे pick up किया. उन्होंने भी they are starting a means package for audit.
Wonderful.
So I request you to, of course, this is the same book, AI Shortest History of Update.
thank you so much, Mr. Patil. And thank you for your key knowledge and insights. So ladies and gentlemen, at AI Conclave 2025, next on the other side, let's get set for our upcoming session. Meanwhile, thank you to all our dignitaries for joining us.